You bought the membership, you swore this January was the real one, and you were gone by February. Do not you dare say you lack willpower, because I am about to prove the problem was never your willpower. The problem is you keep handing one exhausted little part of your brain two jobs it hates at the same time. Job one is drag yourself to the thing you should do, like the gym, the study session, the cold hard work. Job two is stop binging the thing you want to do, like the next episode, the next chapter, the endless scroll. So every single day you fight a two-front war against yourself, and every single day you eventually lose. You call that a character flaw, and you punish yourself for it, and the punishment changes nothing. Here is the part that should make you angry. There is a documented trick that quietly ends both wars in one move, and almost nobody taught it to you. It does not ask you to want the gym more. It does not ask you to hate your favorite show. It takes the exact thing you feel guilty for loving, and it turns that thing into your leash to the work. Behavioral scientists gave it a plain name, and that name is temptation bundling. Stay with me, because by the end, you will run this on your own life tonight. Picture a study run at the University of Pennsylvania and published in the journal Management Science in the year 2014. The researchers were Katherine Milkman, Julia Minson, and Kevin Volpe. They recruited 226 people who all said they wanted to exercise more and mostly did not. Sound like anyone you know? They loaded up iPods with juicy page-turner audiobooks, the kind you cannot put down. We're talking The Hunger Games, the kind of story that ends every chapter on a cliff. Then they split those people into three groups. The first group got the tempting audiobooks, but the iPods were locked inside the gym. That means the only place on earth you could find out what happens next was on a treadmill. The second group got the same audiobooks on their own devices, just gently encouraged to save them for the gym. The third group got a $25 gift card and no trick at all. Now guess who showed up? The locked audiobook group visited the gym about 51% more often than the gift card group. Say that number slowly. 51% more gym visits with no extra motivation and no new discipline. The middle group, the ones just encouraged to save the story for the gym, landed around 29% more. Same people, same busy lives, same tired willpower, wildly different behavior. The only thing that changed was where the good part of their day was allowed to live. And here is the detail that should end the argument. When the study wrapped, 61% of the participants asked to pay real money to keep their gym-locked audiobook setup. They did not just comply, they wanted to buy the leash back. Now let me tell you why this works. Because if you understand the machine, you can build it anywhere. Inside you, there are basically two selves fighting over the calendar. One self is the planner, the one who sets the alarm and buys the vegetables and means well on Sunday night. The other self is the doer, the one who actually shows up on Monday morning, and that one wants a reward right now. Your brain massively overvalues rewards it can have this second and massively discounts rewards that arrive later. Scientists call that present bias, and it is not a defect, it is standard factory equipment. The gym pays you later, in a stronger body and a longer life. The couch pays you now, instantly, in comfort and a good story. So of course the doer keeps voting for the couch, because the doer only counts what it can feel today. That is why willpower alone is a losing bet. Willpower is you asking your present self to accept a worse deal, over and over, on pure faith. And your present self is not stupid, it can smell a worse deal. Meanwhile, you have a second problem hiding in plain sight. You feel guilty about the stuff you love, the binge, the scroll, the trashy addictive fun. So you overdose on it on the couch, and then you feel like garbage, and the guilt does nothing useful. Two problems. One starving the good habit, one binging the guilty pleasure, and you have been treating them separately. That is the mistake. Temptation bundling treats them as one problem with one solution. Here is the actual mechanism, and it is beautiful in how simple it is. You take the want, the instantly gratifying guilty pleasure, and you handcuff it to the should, the hard thing. You make a rule. The want is only allowed to exist while the should is happening. The addictive audiobook only plays on the treadmill. Now watch what that does to the deal your brain sees. Suddenly, the gym is not a delayed payment anymore because the gym now hands you an instant reward the moment you arrive. You just yanked the treadmill out of the faraway future and into right now. That kills the present bias problem because now the should pays cash on delivery. But look at the other war too. The binge that used to eat your whole evening is now rationed because it only unlocks when you earn it. So you stopped overconsuming the want and you started underconsuming a lot less of the should in one single decision. That is why the researchers said this attacks two self-control failures at the same time. You are not spending more willpower, you are spending less. You are letting the temptation drag you toward the work instead of away from it. Now I am not going to sell you a miracle because I respect you too much to lie. That 51% boost was real, but it was not permanent on its own. In the study, the advantage held strong for about 7 weeks. Then a holiday break arrived. Everyone traveled, and everyone's routine got smashed. And gym attendance fell off a cliff for every group, bundlers included. Read that carefully, because it is the most useful part of the whole study. The trick did not fail because the trick was weak. It failed because the routine that held the trick got ripped out from under it. Disruption is the assassin, not your character. So when your holiday, your trip, your sick week, or your busy season hits, expect the drop and plan the restart. The people who win are not the ones who never fall off. They are the ones who rebuild the bundle. The second life calms back down. Now maybe you are thinking that was 200 people in a clever lab setup. So the same research team ran it again, much bigger, out in the wild. In a field experiment published in the year 2020, they partnered with the gym chain 24-Hour Fitness. The team included Erica Kyrgios, Katherine, and the grit researcher Angela Duckworth. This time, it was not a couple hundred people. It was 6,792 of them. And they did not lock anyone's iPod. They just taught people the technique and handed some of them audiobooks. Teaching temptation bundling raised the odds someone worked out in a given week by about 10 to 14%. It raised their average number of weekly workouts by about 10 to 12%. And that lift was still measurable up to 17 weeks after the program ended. 17 weeks from a technique you can explain in one sentence. This is not a magic trick that only works on college kids in a lab. This is a lever, and levers work for anybody who bothers to pull them. So here is your assignment, and I want it done, not admired. Write down one guilty pleasure you feel a little ashamed of loving. Now write down one hard thing you keep avoiding. Make one rule. The guilty pleasure is only allowed while the hard thing is happening. The addictive podcast only plays while you clean. The show only runs while you are on the bike. The fancy coffee only exists at the study desk. Then make it stupidly easy to obey and hard to cheat, because your future self will absolutely try to cheat. Expect the holiday crash, and promise yourself the restart before you ever fall off. You were never lazy. You were just fighting yourself with your hands tied, and now the ropes are cut. If Atlas just handed you a sharper brain, hit subscribe and come back tomorrow because we are only getting started.